Hi everyone. Similar to yesterday's lesson and yesterday's warm-up, the warm-up for today, I think I messed this up a little bit, that should be down here. The question's asking for the radius in centimeters of a circle that has a circumference of 16 pi centimeters. I did get a bunch of questions yesterday, so I hopefully this helps clear things up. So if you're given the circumference, which you are, is 16 pi, you have to use the circumference formula to help you determine what that gives you. So okay, I'm given the circumference. So C is equal to pi times D, and then I know that the circumference is 16 pi. So I'd essentially plug that in for C because I know circumference is C, is equal to, and then pi times D. Now, if we take away these pi's, we're left with the answer to our question is 16 is equal to D. You don't need the pi's in there because you're multiplying them both by it, so you can eliminate them. So D is equal to diameter. But the question is asking, what is the radius? So then you have to go one step further, divide that by 2 to get the radius of 8. Hopefully that helps. Today's lesson is a little different. It's back to area, not of circles necessarily, it's of composite figures. So the objective is I can find the area of composite figures. Composite figures are 2D images made up of 2 or more figures. So here's some examples of composite figures. This is, you see how they're attached somehow? This is a rectangle and a parallelogram, but this is one big shape. There's no name for it besides composite figure. This is semicircle and then square. Again, one big shape, but 2 shapes put together, and then same thing with this trapezoid and triangle. So by the end of this lesson, hopefully you will be able to find the area of composite figures. So example 1, it says find the area of the composite figure. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what shapes you see. Hopefully you see the same shapes that I do, and I see a rectangle and a triangle. So what you do to find the area of a composite figure is you find the area of whatever shapes you see and then add them all together. So to keep things straight, I'm going to start with my rectangle. And the area formula for rectangle is base times height. So area is equal to base times height. So the base is 15, the height is 12. Area is equal to 15 times 12, which is equal to 180 feet squared. So 180 feet squared. Then I find the area of the triangle. Area formula for triangle is 1/2 base times height. A lot of you guys were forgetting that. Can't forget that a triangle you have to multiply by 1/2. Not everything is base times height. So area is equal to 1/2 times the base. Well, they don't give us the base here, but I know since it's part of the rectangle, my base is 15. And then the height is 4. And then 1/2, 15, or times 15 times 4 is 30. Right? Because 15 times 2 is 30. Yep, so that's feet squared. So I found the area of this, I found the area of this. Now the last final step is to add them together. So 180 plus 30 gives me 210 feet squared. All right, example number 2. Find the area of the composite figure. So I see a triangle and a semicircle. So T for triangle, S for semicircle. So triangle, let's do first. So area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Area is equal to 1/2. The base here is 11, and the height is 6. Area is equal to 33 meters squared. Okay, that's my triangle. Now a semicircle is just a half circle. So it's the formula for a circle, pi r squared, but you divide it by 2 because it's half of a full circle. So area is equal to pi times r. So this is not r. So think about this. If I extended my full circle, this would be the whole length across, which is d, diameter. but we are looking for r. So d is half of r. So 6 divided by 2 is, no, I'm sorry, r is half of d. I said that wrong. Radius is half of diameter. So radius is 3. And plug that in there. So we get 3 squared is 9. And then 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So we end up with 4.5 pi. But since we're talking about, what are we talking about? Composite figures, let's multiply by pi. So 4.5 times pi. So 4.5 times pi. Around that to the nearest tenth is 14.1 meters squared. All right, let me erase this. And then again, the last step is to add the two together, or 3. Sometimes you'll have 3. So we have 33 meters squared plus 14.1 meters squared, and that gives us 14.1 plus 33, 47.1 meters squared is our final answer. All right, example 3 has 3 shapes in it. Luckily, they're pretty easy shapes. So, this is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, and this is a trapezoid. So I'm going to do rectangle 1. And area of a rectangle is area is base times height. Let's do, this is my rectangle here. Oh, it's hard to tell on this, but I know here that at least one of them is 6, and then the height looks like it's 10. Otherwise, I don't know where that 10 would be going to. So the area of rectangle 1 is 60 inches squared. Do rectangle 2. The area is base times height. Area is the base of rectangle 2 is 18, and the height is 8. Area is equal to 18 times 8, which is 144 inches squared. All right, and then the trapezoid, the killer. A lot of people got this one wrong on the practice when we did this. The formula is area is equal to 1/2 times A plus B times H. A and B are the heights, or the bases. So base 1 or base 2, you can even, sometimes it's written as B1 and B2. So let me use a different color. So A would be the top of the trapezoid, which is 9, plus B would be the bottom of the trapezoid. So we have to do some math here. Of course, that's what we're doing. We have to do some addition here. We know this is 4, we know this is 4, we know this is 6. So 4 plus 4 plus 6, it's 10, 14. So 14 is the other base, and then times 5 is the height. So you end up with 57.5 inches squared. Now don't forget to add everything up. Let me go back to my other color. So I had 60 for rectangle 1, 144 for rectangle 2, and 57.5 for rectangle, or trapezoid, just trapezoid. So 60 plus 144 plus 57.5 is 261.5, and that would be inches squared. All right, and that's it for examples for me. So let's take a look at this. You have 3 to do here, and I'm going to write the formulas down. I probably should have written them down already, so write these down somewhere. So rectangle, square, and parallelogram all have area is equal to base times height. Triangle, area is equal to 1/2 base times height. You probably should have those memorized by now, but, and the trapezoid is area is equal to 1/2 times A plus B times H. And lastly, the semicircle, or half circle, is area is equal to pi r squared over 2. So divide that by 2. Okay? All right. Again, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Nobody has been asking me about grades, but I haven't put in anything in eSchool because I was waiting for a directive from my principal, your principal, and he was waiting for a directive from the superintendent. So as of now, there your third quarter grades as they are is about what they're going to be. Most of you have been doing this work, which is awesome. I'd say like 2/3 of you have consistently handed in the online work, so you will probably go up because you're actually doing the work. So I'm going to increase your grades. I'm going to put your grades in as you see them, like as you've been getting them. So I'm sure most of yours will increase. If you haven't been doing them, you're not even paying attention, and you're not even on here, whatever, they'll have to worry about their grades. But you guys who are actually doing the grades or doing the lessons and handing them in, turning them in, ask me questions, thank you. I'm really happy that you guys are actually care about your education and want to learn. So you will be the ones whose grades will probably increase from this. So quarter 4, I don't know what's happening, but quarter 3, that's what's happening. What you see in eSchool is probably about what you'll get, maybe give or take, well, probably give a few points here or there. We'll see. All right, if you have any questions about grades, let me know. There are a bunch of you missing assignments. Go back and click turn in on anything that you may have missed. All right, and maybe you can, if you want, you can email me and I will let you know if you're missing anything. All right, adios. Have a good day.